Hi, it's Cassandra McBirchie. I'm here just to make a video. I don't have a blog. I used to have a blog, but I don't have one now, so I'm just doing what you would call a vlog, I guess, which I feel kind of silly doing, but I just went through something yesterday that I thought would be good to share with other women and give some tips about how to deal with miscarriage or people that have gone through miscarriage. So, made a little list, and I kind of wanted to go over a few things. First of all, okay, my story is I was 8 weeks and 2 days pregnant as of yesterday, and I went to the ultrasound. I had my first ultrasound just to determine dates and things. I don't deliver at home. I deliver in a hospital, but I have a great team of a woman doctor, woman nurses, and a woman ultrasound tech. So I went in. I had my 13-year-old daughter, Abby, with, and we went in, and I had kind of been nervous about it. In fact, I told the ultrasound tech when we were going in that I was a bit nervous. I couldn't wait to see a heartbeat because I haven't been as sick with this one. And I had one miscarriage about 10 years ago. And a missed miscarriage is when the baby dies and your body holds on to it. For some reason, my body doesn't like to let go of pregnancies, even when they're failed ones. So I was kind of nervous. So as soon as I laid down and she put the wand on my stomach, I knew that it was a loss. There was absolutely no shape to a baby. At 8 weeks, it should have been bouncing around in there with a strong heartbeat. There wasn't a heartbeat. There wasn't anything. So she did another type of ultrasound, and still the same thing. And she couldn't really even get a very good measurement because what was left of what was the baby was pretty disintegrated. So she had to go get the doctor. She couldn't tell me. So the doctor came in, and she said, yes, you've had a loss. So we went over everything, and I had decided to do the surgery route just because 10 years ago when I tried doing it naturally, it was a horrible experience. I waited a week with the baby still inside me, and then I went through labor and delivery all at home by myself, and it was horrible. So I decided to go the surgery route. I hurried up and texted my husband because they were going to get me in because my doctor, who was a woman, was doing surgeries the whole day. So she was going to be able to do it. So I texted my husband. He was at work, and he couldn't text back until he was on break. So lucky my 13-year-old daughter was there, and she was very strong, and it was kind of nice having her there with me. So we decided to do the surgery route. I had a few hours before surgery. So my method of coping with things is talking to people about it. So I texted all the family. I texted my friends. And we had not announced it on social media yet, but I went ahead and put a prayer request on my Twitter and my Instagram just because I wanted people praying for me. And so the number one thing I said on here, what you can do to help someone that's going through miscarriage. Number one, pray for them, okay? Because it may seem small, but I could feel the prayers. I honestly could. And when I found out for the surgery, they were going to have to do a breathing tube. I was not very happy about it. I did not like the thought of that, of a breathing tube. I watched too many medical shows, and I've seen people get breathing tubes put in, and it kind of creeps me out a little bit. And I think if I wouldn't have had all the prayers of people praying for me, I would have been a nervous wreck. But I was pretty calm about it. And then even when I was all alone, 15 minutes before they came to get me for surgery, and I just put down my phone, and I was praying, and I could just feel the overwhelming peace of God go through me. Because I knew I could feel the prayers. I knew people were praying for me. And obviously I made it through the surgery okay. Breathing tube and all. My mouth is a little scraped up from it, but that's it. Number two, respect their space. Realize that everyone grieves differently. I am going to take the weekend off. I'm not going to go to church tomorrow just because I am great talking about it on social media and text. That way I can cry in private if I need to. I'm not a crier. I only cry when really, really bad things happen in my life, and it doesn't happen very often, so I don't cry very often. So I prefer to do my crying in private. So I can cry while I'm getting a text or, comments over social media. That really help. But I prefer to do it privately. Also realize that, everyone does grieve differently. My husband is more introverted with his grief. I'm more social about it. I like to talk to people about their stories. And in fact, I have a good friend named Monica that's been through 4 miscarriages, 2 surgeries. And I texted her probably the most yesterday just talking about everything in our experiences, and it's very therapeutic to me. So, find a friend that's had a miscarriage and talk to her about it, and, talk about what to expect, because I had never had the surgery. So I talked to her about what to expect, what type of pain am I going to have, Number 4, don't say stupid things. Don't tell someone that's had a miscarriage, oh, you were early, it was only 8 weeks, at least it wasn't a stillborn. That's just stupid. A person is a person, no matter how small. And from the time you get those 2 lines on that pregnancy test, you're attached to that baby. You love that baby, this baby especially. We waited a long time to conceive this baby. We were praying for this baby. I did everything right as far as planning and vitamins and getting healthy, and it's still, God had other plans. Let me just park it there. A lot of people will even say, I've even heard people say, maybe not to your face, but to other people, maybe God's judging them. That's stupid. The Bible says judge not, and this is not the judge like don't call out sin. Okay, we're supposed to call out sin. We're supposed to rebuke and exhort. This is the kind of judge like, let's say someone doesn't pay their tithe one day, like, oh, I bet, so-and-so didn't pay their tithe, that's why their car broke down. Don't do that. God's going to judge you the same way you judge other people. You don't need to be casting judgment or casting God's judgment on people for things like that. Don't just say, I'm praying for you. I'm sorry you're going through this. That's all you really need to say. Like I said, a person is a person, no matter how small. It was a person. You had hopes for that person that was going to grow up, and all those hopes are suddenly gone. So, especially when it comes to comments about maybe from family, well-meaning family members that don't understand why you even want to have any more kids. You have 6 kids, don't you have enough? Well, when you choose not to go the birth control route and put all the hormones into your body that, slows down and messes up your fertility, you're going to have a lot of kids. Okay, this would have been my 9th pregnancy. We have 6 living children. So out of 9 pregnancies, I've lost 3. And so I've lost a third of my pregnancies. And that's a lot. But we also have 6 living children. And now I have 3 children in heaven that eventually we're going to see. And that brings a lot of comfort to me, knowing that I have three souls in heaven waiting for me. And God is the author and the finisher of life. He is the one who plants and the seed in your womb, and He is the one who gives you children. And if He chooses to take them, then that's His. And my fertility, I've decided I'm not going to mess it up with all the hormonal stuff, so I've left that in God's hands. A church family, what they can do. This is turning into a long video, but my church family was very good. I had we had a church couple. They came and got Abby for a little bit until my husband got there. They took we had 2 vehicles because I had gone separate. So they took one of our vehicles home. They dropped off pizza for the kids. The lady bought a few presents for the kids, which I thought was very sweet. And then we had another church family that night, dropped off more food and flowers and a really pretty necklace, which this is it. And I thought it was kind of neat because it's got the 2 little butterflies, which I've had 2 miscarriages now, so it kind of reminds me of that. So I thought that was very sweet, and they dropped off flowers. But the thing is, they dropped them off and they didn't stay to talk. They just dropped them off and left. And that's what you need to do. You need to give the grieving mom some space. The other family gave some cash, which helped out with expenses, eating out expenses, gas expenses. My hospital was about a half hour away, so I didn't have to worry about food. My husband was able to buy himself food, buy Abby food, buy me food, buy the kids some food for that night. And then, just church family. We have another lady in our church that's making food for all the family tomorrow. And then she said they would watch the kids at church when my husband comes home for the afternoon to spend some time with me, which is really, really nice too. So that's just another gesture that you can do. Ours have been great. They've done exactly the right thing in the right situation. And I don't know how unsaved people go through something like this because they don't have the comfort, first of all, that God brings. And they don't have the comfort that their, church family and saved family members bring by praying for them, by uplifting them, by dropping off food, by being a blessing, by, just trying to help out. So, and if you have gone through a miscarriage, just remember, it's not your fault. Stop obsessing about the piece of raw seafood you ate or something. It's just sometimes babies don't develop right. And that's probably what happened in my case. And, God has a plan. There's another soul waiting for you in heaven. I try to look at it that way. And there's no guarantees that a pregnancy will ever go well. You just leave it in God's hand and don't worry about it. If it turns into a full-term baby and you're holding it in your arms one day, thank God. If it doesn't, even with tears streaming down your face, thank God for the short time that you had that baby. I had 8 short weeks, knowing that there was life growing in my womb. Even though the baby died at 6 weeks, I had at least 6 weeks with that baby. And that was just precious in of itself. So God is good all the time. He reigns on the just and the unjust. Life stinks sometimes. Bad things are going to happen. But that doesn't mean you're a bad person. It doesn't mean God is judging you. It's just life. We live in a world full of chemicals and things that don't go right sometimes. And it just happens. So don't beat yourself up over it. And then for anyone that's helping someone through a miscarriage, tell them you're praying for them. Do what you can to help. Let them grieve. Give them space. Do text and encourage them. And that's all I have. Sorry this video is so long. Kudos to you if you made it through it.